Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Avery Azar. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director for the Master of Environmental Studies program at the Evergreen State College. And today I'm also joined by Sam.
My name is Sam Nanetti, and I am the MES Program Assistant, and I also use she, her pronouns, and let's get started.
So today we're going to be talking about a really important part of thesis formatting, which is building your table of contents. That's actually a lot easier than doing it manually. So Word has a lot of beautiful tools that you can use at your disposal for helping you format your table of contents, either during the process when you're finally getting to the point where you want to put your document together, or at the very end, you can just curate your table of contents automatically with the generators that it has. So we're actually going to do this with the Thesis Handbook. And the Thesis Handbook is definitely a fantastic resource that you'll be able to use throughout your thesis experience. It has a lot of really good information about, formatting and how to submit your thesis. So you'll definitely be working with the Thesis Handbook a lot. You can look at the other videos for, just updates and information to the handbook that meet our current guidelines for a remote working environment right now. But the first thing that we're going to do in this video is we're going to create a table of contents. And so we're looking at Sam's screen right now. So Sam is going to be the driver, and I will be talking through the steps that you'll take to create your table of contents. So at the very top ribbon, you see the home ribbon that Sam is currently on. And the home ribbon has a lot of amazing features. And one of them we're going to focus on is just after the middles to the right, which is your headers. So you may have seen your headers before. Headers are actually linked to the table of contents generators. And usually you have options for header 1, header 2, and header 3. These headers will allow you to indicate the main reference headers for each of the sections and subsections of your thesis document. So what Sam is going to do is designate in header 1 by right-clicking on header 1 the type of style that Sam wants to use for this document. And we're going to model it after the style of the Thesis Handbook, which indicates that your header 1 can be 14-point Times New Roman font in bold. And so Sam is going to indicate all the header 1s as this font size and style. And so when Sam hits OK, then header 1 is now going to be designated as that font style. And then using that style, for example, significance of the thesis in this particular document is a primary header. So Sam is going to go ahead and click on header 1. And sometimes it does this where it can revert back to its original setting. So if it does take some tinkering to make sure that your header style sticks, that is completely fine. This is just the process that Word sometimes will have you undergo. So if you have issues with Word, you can always feel free to reach out to us when you are, in this process of just trying to edit your document, because sometimes we can find things that will make it so that it'll be a little bit easier to just automatically edit your document. So now Sam has the significance of the thesis edited so that it matches the heading 1 style that Sam is trying to, essentially isolate and then label for each of the primary headers. So then the next one will be overview and timeline. So for this particular document, overview and timeline is a subheader of the significance of the thesis header. So you can find heading 2. So Sam has found heading 2 in the home ribbon. And Sam is going to designate heading 2 as 12-point font times New Roman, right? Because all of our headers, our primary headers, are going to be 14-point font. But then your subheaders could be 12-point font, bold. And usually folks have anywhere between 3 and 4 headers in a document. So you may have a subheader of a subheader in your primary section, and that's totally fine. So in this case, heading 2 is going to be designated as Times New Roman 12-point font and bold. Awesome. So now that that's designated for Sam, then any secondary headers, so subheaders, will have that font style moving forward, which is great. So it means that you have very minimal work on your part as you're editing your thesis document moving forward, because now you've designated your style guide for both your heading 1 and 2. And then let's keep, what we can do is keep scrolling down. Oh no, is that a page break, Sam? Looks like there may be a large break in between pages 3 and 4 of this document. Or 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, yeah. So let's go ahead and right there where it kind of looks like we've got a little page break, let's try to delete that. So the way that we're able to see that is Sam has our editing features turned on. So this is another great feature of the home ribbon, is your show hide button. So this show hide button, it kind of looks like a musical note almost. When you click on it, it'll show you all of the background changes that you've made. So right here, it's telling us that we have a little page break going on. And so Sam is going to go ahead and just delete it. So Sam is in front of this page break. And so by just deleting that page break, it moves the text from the previous page back up. So now it looks like it's back to normal. So that's why you see all of these little blue sort of musical note looking items next to some of our paragraphs. Those are just telling us, where we have indentations or we have, maybe tab down to the next line. And now we have another interesting feature between 3 and 4, this document. And another section break. That's what it is. So, okay, yeah, we want to delete that section break too. And this can be helpful because your section breaks, oftentimes they're the reason you can differentiate between, different sections of your thesis document. And when we talk about formatting your page numbers, for example, in another video, this is going to be a way, section breaks will be a way that you're able to designate Roman numerals during one section of your document, usually in the beginning. And then when you're able to transition to Arabic numbers for the rest of your document. So that's how you're going to be able to do that, is you're indicating section breaks. For most of your document, you really don't need that many section breaks. So that's why we're going through and we're deleting any of the edits. So this is an old document. So there's a lot of, there have been a lot of editors over, the past couple of decades. So here we are, we're gonna move into designating more of our headers, right? So this is another primary header.
And I always like to go into modify just to make sure that it's following all the rules that you designated. So you'll see me do that a lot. There we go.
That's perfect.
And you just click on it, you left click on heading 1 to designate it. And that's good.
And so what Sam was going to do now is writing resources will be a section, a section 2, like a subsection 2 header. So Sam is going to go in.
And you know what? I'm going to modify this because I see it, the color is blue. And we want everything to be an automatic black. Go with that. So you can edit it and modify it anytime. And then remember, you just left click to designate that header.
That's perfect. So we've got some great resources under the writing process. Working with your reader, here's another one. This is going to be another heading 2 subsection header. And this is probably the most tedious part of creating your table of contents, just because you're having to go through and designate all of your header types. But once you have them designated, we'll show you how to create your table of contents. So it just takes a little time in doing this. And we'll preface too that Sam is using a Mac. And so this Word software is still compatible on Sam's computer. And some of you may be using Macs, and you may just encounter the, the same sort of stylistic format that you see on Sam's screen. But if some of you are using PCs, then you may also see that some of the icons may be in a different ribbon, or that they may just appear differently when you are trying to modify your header sections, and that's completely fine. Most of the time, regardless of the version you're using, you should be able to find all of the same information. Oh, we've got another section break here. So Sam's gonna just get in front of that and delete the section break. So because we were able to see it, because we had our show hide icon on, then we were able to identify that it was there. So if you're ever, having a moment where your show hide icon maybe isn't on, and you're not entirely sure why you have so much space between paragraphs, for example, it's always a good idea to just turn it on and kind of see what's happening in the background of your document.
And here's another one right here. Would you like me, these ones right here would be the subheaders on this one, correct?
Right, exactly.
Perfect.
Sam's on a roll.
And you will too, once you get to this point.
Exactly. It'll start to feel very familiar. And there's a section break there, but we want to keep it. So if you notice with this particular document, and you may encounter stylistic elements in your thesis document that are similar, where, you know, maybe you have a figure, a very large figure, or a chart, or a map, or a graph on the next page. You do really want your, you know, figure header, or your chart header, your graph, or your map headers to be on the same page as the actual content, whether it's an image or a snip or, you know, a chart from Excel. So you really do want to bump those down onto the next page. So Sam is going to keep that section break, you know, both above the example of your cover page and then on the below section after June 21st. We're going to keep those there because what we don't want to do is modify one page. So modify page 13, which is what Sam is on right now, and then have things on page 12 move up. That's a really frustrating thing to happen. So we're going to keep those section breaks there. And then these are just examples of you know, what you're going to typically see in the thesis formatting process, but you really want to go off of the thesis formatting templates for, you know, either mirror margins or standard margins that are located on the thesis process page. Those are going to be, you know, the most updated and accurate formatting templates for you when you're going to create your document for final submission. And then let's actually go back up. I remember there's just a quick section. I think after the first page break was deleted. Let's see. I want to make sure it's these sections. So thesis prospectus section after page number 2. Right there. So thesis prospectus, getting started on thesis prior to case studies, and then registering for thesis credits and thesis reader and thesis workshop. Those are all going to be your section 2 subsection headers. And in your thesis, if you're getting to the point where you have subheaders, under subheaders, then you can modify heading 3, which you can see on Sam's ribbon is right next to heading 2, and you can designate another subheader. And some folks will designate those types of headers as 12-point font, maybe italicized, but not bolded. Or you could do a standard, you know, just 12-point font because it's a header. And people will know that, or readers of your thesis will know that it is not a part of the text below it, that it is a header section. All right, Sam, I think that you did a great job of catching all of them. So let's go ahead and generate the table of contents. So Sam is going to the references section up at the top of your the ribbon. So in Word document, you'll have the references section, which is where you'll find your table of contents generator. So Sam is going to click on table of contents in the far left of the references ribbon. And it's possible that in the share screen, you may not be able to see the drop-down menu that pops up when Sam clicks on the table of contents. Oh, dang. Unfortunately, no. So what happens when Sam is clicking on, oh, it did happen. Okay, great. So we're in share screen mode. Awesome. Thank you, Sam. So the table of contents pop-up is asking what type of table of contents do you want to generate. So when you kind of take a look at the different formats that are available, You get to select which one works best for you. One of the things that is really important to keep in mind is that your reader does need to approve your formatting style. So usually, the template of, from template or classic is the traditional format. Usually you want the table of contents that have leaders, so like dotted lines or solid lines leading up to the number, because it's easier for a person to, understand where your page number is going to start and your section headings. And so Sam's going to go ahead and just do from template, and notice that it is pulling from heading 1 and heading 2 and heading 3. That means that this table of contents generator is talking to the headers that you have modified to meet your style guide. So we know that it is going to talk to those headers that Sam has designated for this document. Awesome. So this is absolutely perfect. This is really what you want to see. So when Sam hit OK, what that did was it pulled from all of those headers and subsection headers that Sam had indicated as, throughout the document. So what that was able to do was give the exact page number for the location of all the headers, so that Sam didn't have to enter them manually. And this is a beautiful thing because, say there may be changes we need to make to this document in the future, right? We don't necessarily want to go through all of those headers in order to find out whether or not they may have moved because we needed to reformat a section or take out a section, right? And that brings everything that precedes it up. And so with this type of tool in Word, you can easily generate your table of contents. And then Sam, what Sam can do is, just drop it down and label it table of contents, so that which for some folks, it may just pop up automatically. So Sam's just going to label that and then bring it up to 14-point font to match all of the other headers, right? All the other primary headers. So we're trying to just maintain consistency throughout the document, which is something you'll always want to make sure that you're doing. And then it looks like this is looking really good. And then you can edit the text within your table of contents. So for example, this text under each of the headers is all 11-point font. So if we wanted to change it to 12-point font, we could do that by just highlighting the text and then indicating that we wanted to increase it just like it was regular text. That's perfect. Your table of contents in your thesis document is oftentimes going to be your first Roman numeral page. So you're going to have an IV at the bottom right of this page. And for any pages that come after it, you're going to want to include the headers for each of your Roman numeral pages, such as your list of figures, your list of tables, and then obviously the pages that come after your introduction and your literature review. Those will all be included in your table of contents. So any headers that you have, this is how you're going to help orient your reader to the contents of your thesis document. And then stylistically, we do want to actually drop down the significance of the thesis section on page number 3. We will be dropping that down to the next page, because you never want your table of contents to also have text from like the next section on it, right? So if this is the end of your table of contents, then we want to shove the rest of the text down onto the next page, so it starts on a fresh page. Awesome. And now, because we did that, we modified it, we made a change, and now significance of the thesis is on page 4, right? When previously on our table of contents, it was reading as it was on page 3. So now that we've made a change, we want to go back up to our table of contents, and we're going to adjust the page numbers to match the location of where our header now starts, right? So Sam is going to go to the References tab to open up the References ribbon, and Sam is going to click on the button on the left that says Update Table. And it'll ask you, do you want to update page numbers only, or do you want to update the entire table? Because maybe you had to change a header title, and maybe maybe your reader makes a suggestion to you and says, actually, I want this section's title to be this, or I want it to say, a new type of descriptive text. And so sometimes you need to update the entire table, so it updates the headers themselves. In this case, we're keeping all of the headers, and we just want to update the page numbers. So right now, you can see that all of the page numbers are on the pages that we previously had indicated, and now that we shoved everything down a page, Sam's going to click OK, and it'll update the page numbers for us. There we go. So this is something that's super handy when you're editing your document. So if you want to make your table of contents right away, this is also something that you can use to help you navigate throughout your document. And so if you have any questions making a table of contents, anything comes up for you, and you're just not quite sure about how to proceed, or if there's a weird glitch on your computer or in the Word document, which certainly happens, Word is really finicky, then definitely feel free to reach out to us. Sam and I are here for you as a resource, and Sam is really amazing at helping folks edit their thesis documents. So we will be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And Sam, do you have any other tips or tricks for folks?
The only kind of tip or trick is, if you noticed, sometimes it turns gray when you're editing it. And usually that's just because you have selected it. And usually you only have to take your cursor and pretty much click anywhere. See how this is gray right now? But if you're worried that it's gray and you can't figure out how to change it, and it's giving you some troubles, then, and this little one right here is your highlight button. You can click that and just click no color, and it'll always take that away from you. So if that's giving you a headache, that's just an easy way to get it to go away. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's perfect. Thank you, Sam. And can you do actually something really quick and go to the Review tab? And I wonder if you have it on the Mac version. If not, we can make a separate video for how to actually use the table of contents as a way to navigate this massive document. Let's see. And maybe View, actually. If we go to the View tab. Navigation pane. Do you see the navigation pane? It's just under References. Yeah, go ahead and click on that. So your navigation pane is something that is incredibly handy. And this is actually built into some of the useful features that are in your table of contents. So this is available for individuals with a PC, and now, because we're able to verify that Sam has it, is for individuals that also have a Mac. So Sam, you see how at the top where you have maybe 4 different icons? Yes, go ahead and click on number 2. So this is absolutely fantastic. This is how you are going to navigate your massive thesis document, but from a navigation pane. So you don't have to keep scrolling. When you pre-designate your headers every time you, if you're doing something like, maybe you're working off of a separate document, you're writing sections in one Word document and then pasting them into your primary document. When you do that, you want to go ahead and designate section headers for the information that you've pasted into the document, and then they get added to your navigation pane. So every time you want to go to a new section, say if you want to work on your lit review today, or you want to work on your method section, you just click in the navigation pane and it will take you right there without having to scroll up and down the document, which can be, once you start to get into, 50 plus pages, can be very, very time consuming and just frustrating. And so definitely feel free to use the navigation pane. So just as a refresher, it's going to be under the View tab and the View ribbon, and you're going to be able to find a little box that you can check next to navigation pane to turn it on. And then Sam went to the second icon, and as a Mac user, went to the second icon to be able to find the table of contents on the left-hand side. And then this is how you are able to navigate through your document. This is just for your personal use, just to be helpful. So this concludes our table of contents tutorial. So again, if you have questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us, but we hope that this helps you today. And take care, and happy Thesis Land.